Hello my loves and welcome to another ASMR video. Today I'm going to show you the unfiltered side of my ASMR studio. I am also going to show you how I got started with very minimalistic gears such as what I'm using right now, all the way up to the advanced things that I use. So if you want to see what I use, let's get started. So for smaller creators that are just starting out and you're not really sure what to do, I converted a bedroom that is in my basement into my ASMR studio. I personally love furniture that folds and things that are very easily to move around in case I need a space for something else, or I just want to change my setup a little bit of feng shui kind of thing to go on in with it. So I'm going to show you what my room currently looks like. So we are currently in my basement. The room is pretty soundproof. My kids are at school right now as I am making this video, and I hope you enjoy it. Starting off with the bare basic things that I started with is this little mini microphone right here that literally plugs into my iPhone 12 Pro Max, a ring light, and my iPhone. That's how I started. I started tapping on pretty much anything and everything that I could get my hands on when it came to my kids having doll heads for makeup, brushes. They make the coolest sounds, paper, anything that made a very kind of noise that just gives you like a, oh, I want to hear that more kind of sound. That's how I started, and here we are now. Now, if you're wanting something a little more advanced, I recommend a Blue Yeti microphone. These are about $80 on Amazon, and they can pick up all kinds of sounds. I do use this quite often. This was my second biggest purchase, mic-wise, when it came to this. So when you plug in, you get this contraption that comes with it. Okay, so this is going to plug in the end of this. Here's the kicker. You need to buy one of these, okay? It can house, as I look at myself in my camera mirror, this is going to plug. This is going to plug into here. Then this is going to plug into your phone. And then this will plug up in here. This little round hole on this microphone, you can actually plug in earphones and listen to yourself as you do it. Or if you want to do playback trial speeds, things of that nature. But when it comes on, is this little red light will turn on. Obviously, I'm not going to do it right now because I've got this little mic plugged into my phone. However, this is one of the best things that I have. And you can also get removable microphone covers for it. This mic is very versatile. It's very inexpensive. You can change the grain on it, which kind of alleviates the sound. If you want to hear more something scratchy or less something scratchy. The other settings on this, okay, are the stereo modes. It comes with instructions and a booklet, but this will allow you to pick up sound from under the mic, just the top of the mic, or all over the mic. And again, it explains this in the instructions. Now, in order to put your videos together, there are many different apps out there. However, I landed on CapCut. CapCut is actually my favorite thing to use. I use it for all of my TikTok videos. I can link it to my TikTok and other things. It is my personal favorite. There's Adobe Flash Room. There is another one by Newton. So there are very many things. You can do free trials on them. Most of them are 7 days. However, I pay for mine. So again, that's something we can discuss later in the video. Now let me show you my actual setup. This is my ASMR studio, so to speak. It's just an extra bedroom. That's Prince down there. And it's just an extra bedroom that I use for everything that I have. These two little drawers are where I keep all of my external microphones. Those are little chargers. I just have a TV down here. I use the massaging table, my green screen. This is actually a folding table which, like I said earlier, I prefer to use these because I like to be able to kind of move around the room when I feel like I just need change of scenery or I want to work on some new space ideas. I do have 4 ring lights. 2 of them are set up right now. The one over by the window actually is a rainbow light itself. I paid $10 for it at a garage sale and I absolutely love it. Here is the other side of my room. That's just a closet where I house a bunch of blankets and stuff. My computer, my dog's thing. And then here is where I keep a lot of my mannequin heads. I know, like I said, it's messy. This video is to show a lot of behind the scenes stuff, but this is my bare minimum setup. So if you are new to the ASMR world, start very minimalistic, get a mannequin head, maybe invest in a camera if you've got some time to it. Now this green screen setup in particular, I like to use curtain green screens. This can actually be taken apart. It's just one long big curtain rod of what professional photographers use and such like that. I can change the background. There are actually backgrounds that you can get to hang that have the little hook eye rods that go through here, and you can change the background without having to use green screen until you get familiar with the setup itself. The key element you need to know when using green screen is that you need multiple light setups, and you might be thinking, why? You need to separate your green screen shadows from your actual figure shadows. So you need to light up your entire backdrop as well as your subject, because if there are shadows on your green screen, it is not going to work. And I promise there are plenty of other videos out there to learn, because that's how I did. If you choose to change your curtain, so to speak, to a black one, which is what I use in a lot of my videos when I'm kind of feeling in a darker, more moody setting, do not light up your background because you're going to be able to see the grain of the video. And I also recommend using the amber light setting. That's the orange light. A lot of people are like, that's not a real thing. No, I promise you it is. Here's another major key point. Just sticking to the whole microphone, wireless microphone thing, just with your camera. Hollyland is another great one to use. This actually charges itself, so it's like a little mini portable charger. It comes with a receiver. Oh God, what did I do? And the microphone itself. Of course, I lose it as soon as I want to film something. I've got 3 of these, so no big deal. Hollyland is great for filming even with cameras. However, you need to be careful because not all cameras have an audio output, okay? Unless you're using an HDMI, well, a mini HDMI camera, a mini HDMI sounding, then it's not going to work. Let me show you what I mean with an example. For audio output, this is a 3.5 jack, this is a 2.5 jack. My Canon EOS 17 is a 3.5 output, but it needed the 2.50 adapter, okay? Do not make this mistake, all right? Always read the manuals. You can find any manual for a Canon camera through their website. It's easy access. This was my biggest purchase to date. This is my Canon EOS Rebel 17 camera. It comes with 2 lenses. It also came with 1 battery. However, it did not come with the extra charger things that come with it. I had to buy those separately. This camera alone is $800, okay? And you might be like, oh my God, why would you do that? I'll tell you in just a couple of minutes. So referring back to the adapters that I was telling you about for the Hollyland microphone, okay? Wireless microphone. Now there are different variations of this. Don't think if you don't like this one you have to stick with it. There are different variations. So this is a 2.5 adapter on here, all right? Like I said, this is the 3.5. It cannot physically go in. So what I have to do is plug this into here and then plug this into here. See? Sorry, I just turned it on. And that is how I do this. Well, a lot of the times anyway. You also have your HDMI output right here, and I forget what this one is, but it is, where is it? This right here, that gets plugged into the Blue Yeti microphone. Now, after some time, if you decide you want to continue to do this on YouTube and make this a legitimate career, you need to invest in a good quality camera, okay? So when you think, oh, I can do this full time or in my spare time, you don't want to be sparse at uploading your videos. I get it, life comes up, I've got kids get sick, things happen. However, you need to invest in a good quality camera. Canon is my personal favorite. I've been using them for years. Now, back to the price. If you're going to do this and you file a legitimate name with a business and you want to make yourself like a business, you need to get an LLC to protect yourself. You need to get somebody who's proficient, like a tax advisor, on individual contractors, so to speak, because that's what YouTube is. You are an individual contractor, unless you're contracted out through a third party who involves in YouTube and stuff like that. It's all a game from there. My LLC protects me, but guess what? My LLC also means I can write off all of my camera equipment. Anything that I purchase for my YouTube channel is a tax write-off. Internet, mannequin heads, microphones, but you need to have it approved through the United States something or other for it, okay? Otherwise, you cannot get this as a tax write-off. If you think, oh, I'm just going to go out and buy all this and write it off on my taxes the following year, you're not going to be able to unless you have that business LLC, LTD, S Corp, C Corp, whatever it is that you choose. But get either a lawyer involved, which again is a tax write-off, get a tax person, your tax person, because they are a tax write-off as well. Anybody or anything that you involve in your business is a tax write-off. Do not let anybody tell you any different. Now, the table that I have is not a tax write-off. It's just a folding table. I've had it for years. I used to be a baker, but then I stopped because I took this to a bunch of vendor fairs and all that. Now, my massage table, that's a tax write-off. It was only $90, but still, money adds up when it comes tax time, and you want to make sure that you are communicating with your tax guy at the bare minimum every 2 months to make sure, hey, if you've got any questions, no matter how stupid it is, please, please, please do not make the same mistakes that early YouTubers make because they don't know how to do something. If you do have questions, please leave me comments below and I will try to reply to all of them. Now, for enhanced audio versions, I really highly recommend Audacity. You need to get yourself a good up-to-date computer, whether you have an Apple phone, a Samsung, Galaxy, whatever it is. So that way, if you want to download the stuff from your phone to your computer, you know, you'll have to, I don't know how Samsung works. So you can mirror what is on your phone on your computer as well. You will need to keep records of everything. Receipts if you want to be a, what do they call it? Someone who does mukbang. If you just want to do, there are a lot of creators that do nothing but type on computers. That's another thing people love. Scratching with hair. That's another thing that people love. It just depends on what your style is. You cannot let anybody tell you what you should or should not do, because don't tell anybody you're doing this, because if you do, there are going to be people, well, that doesn't pay out very much. You shouldn't do that. You're not going to make it. They're called dream squashers, okay? Don't tell anybody you're doing this. If you have social media, put it out on social media. Don't listen to the haters, because there's always going to be somebody in your life that is going to drag you down for this. Another thing I did want to mention is that there are a handful of states in the U.S. that you can file your LLC anonymously, okay? Now, I will let you decide what you want to do, what states to file in. I'm not going to say which state I filed in. However, I did file in an anonymous state. But the other thing you need to realize too is if you are not willing to do this if your heart is not in it, your content is going to suck majorly. I need to say this in a disclaimer because if you are not willing to put your heart and soul into being a full-time ASMR creator, or you can just think, oh, I'm going to do it here, I'm going to do it there. I get it. Situations happen and arise that we have no control over. That's fine. But if you are going to go out and purchase all of this stuff and you don't file an LLC or something to protect yourself in case copyright, people want to sue you for copyright infringement, whatever it is, get yourself an anonymous LLC. Google is free. But your content is going to suck if you do not have the right equipment to do this. If you don't pour your heart and soul into something, it's going to suffer. You're going to lose interest and you are not going to make this what you want it to be. And you might be thinking right now, well, your lighting sucks. You're right, my lighting does suck right now. But you know why? I have a migraine. My light is not bright right now. I normally use the amber light, but this is going to look ugly behind me, okay? So you kind of learn how to pick and choose your battles when dealing with updated kind of stuff. I don't look glamorous right now. Do not get into an AI generated, how do you want to say this? YouTube is moving away from the AI generated channels. I'm not saying you can't make money from it. You can use AI in different parts of your videos, but to make a full AI content, YouTube is moving away from that. TikTok is already phasing that out. So when it comes, if you're not comfortable sharing your face, don't film your face. There's a million different camera angles you can do. There are there's equipment where you can get the things behind me, only it's made out of like stainless steel and stuff like that, where you can hang the camera overhead like this and film that way yourself doing something. Now me, I prefer to be on camera, but again, this is all personal preference. Things that I have learned throughout my time, and like I said, I can ramble on forever, but this is just what I have done. If you are a new mom, I don't know if this would be the best thing for you because kids are a pain in the butt. They yell, they scream. All my kids are older, they're at school and stuff like that. Very rarely do I make videos when my kids are at home, and I mean rarely. So anyway, I hope you kind of enjoyed this video, and if you guys have any questions or have any ideas of what you want me to do later, let me know. Bye.